Hello and once again welcome to my channel SST Chemistry. In this video we shall be starting small topics on inorganic chemistry for class 11-12 for competition. Often inorganic chemistry is considered as a very monotonous, I can't say boring because it's my topic. Yes, I do concede to tell it as a monotonous aspect of chemistry simply because we often, students, they miss out the logic part. If the logic part is understood clearly, even inorganic chemistry will be interesting, like organic and physical. In this chapter, we shall be talking about oxoacids or oxyacids of some p block elements like nitrogen, phosphorus belonging to group 15 and sulfur belonging to group 16 and halogens. And of course, for comparison purpose, I will be also telling you some other oxyacids. Now, often students try to memorize different oxoacids without bringing in the logic part. That's why they feel really very monotonous. Sometimes in the examination they miss out. So for that, in this video, I will be trying to give you some logic so that your study about the oxoacids will be little more methodical, logical. Now let me tell you the general look at the writings. I am just highlighting that. General concepts according to traditional or non-systematic naming, because still IUPAC has been changing. Still we are very much fond of the traditional non-systematic names. Now in non-systematic traditional way, we had in the beginning two types of acids, OUS and ic acid. OS is the lower oxidation state, and for phosphorus and nitrogen it is +3, and the ic acid is +5. Similarly, sulfur and other group 16 members, +4 is OS, +6 is ic. Similarly, for halogens, +3 was taken as OS and +5 as ic. Right? These were the assumptions. Right? Then the different prefixes used in giving the non-systematic names, traditional names, are discussed below. Let us see what is the meaning of ortho and meta. Ortho means pure. Ortho acid contains more water content in it than meta, but the oxidation state of ortho acid and meta acid are same. Removing a molecule of water, ortho acid is converted to meta acid. One or more molecules of water, ortho acid is converted to meta acid. This is mostly applicable for the oxoacids of phosphorus, boron, silicon, and in some other cases too. Let me give some examples to exemplify what is ortho acid and meta acid. See, this is phosphoric acid, which was called orthophosphoric acid. Nowadays IUPAC has made these terms ortho and meta redundant completely. Simply phosphoric acid, IUPAC says now, but orthophosphoric acid is H3PO4, and if you remove a molecule of water, it becomes HPO3 metaphosphoric acid. Later we know that metaphosphoric acid is not a monomer. It exists as a polymer, a cyclic polymer. That we will take up later. Similarly, orthoboric acid is normally we call boric acid, metaboric acid, which is polymeric. And similarly, orthosilicic acid, simply silicic acid, and also metasilicic acid, which is also polymeric. Now, the other prefixes used were pyro. Pyro acid means it is a dehydrated dimer. Two acids, two either os acid or ic acid, they unite and a molecule of water is removed from the middle, OH of one and H of other. They are removed as a molecule of water. Then that dimer was called pyro acid, pyrosulfuric acid, pyrophosphoric acid. It's a dimer, but it's a dehydrated dimer. Obviously, it contains an oxygen bridge. POP or SOS, oxygen bridge has to be there in a pyro acid. It can come from os acid or ic acid. In pyro acids, the oxidation state remains the same as the corresponding acid. The ortho acid undergo condensation. Ortho acid molecules, two, they undergo condensation. So the same oxidation number that is there in ortho acid present in pyro acids, the corresponding pyro acid. Is it just a dimer? I will show you the structures, different examples. Hold on. Then when the term hypo is used, it means the central atom, maybe sulfur or phosphorus, has a lower oxidation state, less oxidation state than the os or ic. It is hypo of os acid or hypo of ic acid. It has to be a lower oxidation state than the corresponding non-hypo acid. For example, phosphorus, nitrogen, the os is +3 and ic is +5. Sulfur +4 and +6 respectively. For halogens, it is less than +3. In hypo acid, there is often a element bond, sulfur, phosphorus. Often, not always. If it contains more than two central atoms, then there is bound to be a element bond, maybe a single bond or a double bond. Otherwise, the oxidation number cannot be reduced. If there is only one atom, it can be reduced. I will show you how. The oxidation state of the central atom will be lower than the corresponding acid, os or ic. Then you can coin the term hypo as prefix in the beginning. For example, hyponitrous acid. There are two nitrogen atoms, so there has to be a direct linkage between the two atoms. Otherwise, nitrogen oxidation number will be +3. There is another tautomer where there is a single bond and there is a double bond O and OH. H, a directly bonded hydrogen. That is hyponitrous acid with the oxidation state of nitrogen is +1. You can find out, no problem, by any method, by any lower level method using X or the real concept of oxidation number. Can I remind you? It is the hypothetical charge that an atom will develop when all the bond pairs, the bond electron pairs are transferred to the more electronegative atom. And if the two atoms are identical, same electronegativity, then there will be a homolytic cleavage. Nobody will lose, nobody will gain, so no charge develops due to such homolytic cleavage between two identical atoms. So here nitrogen homolytic cleavage, and this is heterolytic cleavage. Oxygen is more electronegative, so nitrogen will have +1 charge. this nitrogen also will have plus 1 charge. In the same way, the 2 electrons will be transferred to oxygen, right? Per, the other prefix is per. Per prefix is used when the central atom enjoys a greater oxidation state than the ic acid. Usually, per prefix is used for ic acids. For example, perchloric acid, periodic acid, where the ic acid is plus 5. According to convention, then if it is more than plus 5, plus 7, then you use the term perchloric acid, perbromic acid, periodic acid. So to have the oxidation state greater than the ic, the conventional ic acid. Peroxy is often confused with per, because in many literature, many books, you'll find per meaning peroxy. So beware, just like beware of dogs, beware of these two which might confuse you. Usually peroxy is not written. In its place per is written sometimes. So you must watch with caution whether it is really meaning per, higher oxidation state, or a peroxy linkage. Let me tell you, there is always a confusion in the word per, because sometimes peroxy is replaced by per. Therefore, you have to use with all caution. In peroxy acid, there is a peroxy linkage, OO single bond. The oxidation state of the central atom remains the same as their corresponding non-peroxy acid. For example, a nitrous acid, plus 3, per nitrous acid, formula looking like nitric acid, but per nitrous acid, or actually it should be peroxynitric acid, but often in the book you will find per nitrous acid, as if somebody will know that its oxidation state is more than plus 3. No, it is same as plus 3. There is a peroxy linkage elsewhere. I will show you all the structures. Similarly, nitric acid is HNO3, per nitric acid is HNO4. Have you ever heard HNO4? Yes, it is peroxynitric acid truly. Similarly, sulfuric acid and its peroxy form is peroxymonosulfuric acid or Carrot's acid. This is peroxy disulfuric acid or Marshall's acid, in which the oxidation state remains plus 6 in each of the two sulfur containing acids, and here plus 3 and here plus 5, as per its corresponding os and ic acids. Many acids are unstable. For example, nitrous acid is unstable at room temperature. Like metaboric acid is unstable at room temperature. So, and many other acids, but their salts are stable. Some of their salts are stable. But our purpose today in this video is to learn the logic behind all the oxoacids. Oxoacids of phosphorus. How to know, how to try to figure out in the examination whether it is hypo or per or pyro. Now, I told you phosphorus, os means plus 3. In nitrogen family, os is plus 3, ic is plus 5. The highest state is plus 5. Now, as you already know, perhaps, hopefully, you are already master of chemical bonding, because this is to be studied after you are thorough in periodic classification and chemical bond. So with this in mind, I am telling, of course, at times I will be simplifying things. Now, this is phosphorus acid, where a hydrogen atom is directly bonded, and therefore it is a dibasic acid, and it is sp3 hybridized phosphorus, and it is in the plus 3 state. You can find out by X method also, or by logical method, the breaking of bonds in hypothetical manner. Now the IUPAC has changed its name. It has made it phosphonic acid. The os and ic terms have been in many cases have been replaced. This is called phosphonic acid by IUPAC. But still our folks are all familiar with phosphorus acid. Some people call it orthophosphorus acid. There is no meaning of ortho because there is no metaphosphorus acid. Then why to use the term ortho? The ortho and meta terms are now redundant. Still, we have to honor them because sometimes you might get in your examination. Now, similarly, hypophosphorus acid. Undoubtedly, us means plus 3. It's less than plus 3. Hypo. So, it is plus 1. And if you know the Lewis structure of hypophosphorus acid, it is a monobasic acid. Two hydrogen atoms are directly bonded and oxidation state is plus 1, less than plus 3, right? Similarly, pyrophosphorus acid. Pyro means what? You need not have to, I swear upon nature that you need not have to mug up the formula. Pyro means it is a dehydrated dimer. Two acids have to be condensed. And phosphorus means, so I took two phosphorus acids. I have written phosphorus acid here. I took two such acids and condensed, removed a molecule of water. So that becomes H4P2O5. You need not have to remember H4P2O5 is the formula of pyrophosphorus acid. Pyro means a dehydrated dimer. There must be a oxygen bridge, POP or SOS. And the oxidation state will be same as the corresponding OS acid. This is OS acid plus 3. This is also plus 3. You can find out by X method or by the logical method plus 3 plus 3. Both are identical. I mean the symmetrical structure. It's a dibasic acid also because this is a ionizable OH and this is also an ionizable OH. IUPAC calls it diphosphorus acid. Two phosphorus atoms, so it calls it diphosphorus. This pyro has been, but still you get question in your exam, pyrophosphorus acid. So you must not, disregard or dishonor these non-systematic traditional prefixes. Then orthophosphoric acid, which IUPAC has deleted the term ortho, staying phosphoric acid simply. S3PO4. This is ic acid, so plus 5. It is a tribasic acid. And sp3. And now you must know what is polyphosphoric acid. When more than one phosphoric acid condense, eliminating a molecule of water in between, then it generates polyphosphoric acid. Pyrophosphoric acid or diphosphoric acid, which we discussed just before a bit, belongs to that category, but it is called diphosphoric acid or pyrophosphoric acid. But if the number of phosphorus atoms will be more, or the number of phosphoric acid molecules will be more than 2, then it will be a polyphosphoric acid. Let me read out. It remains as polymeric structure. Diphosphoric acid is called pyrophosphoric acid, but more than 2 phosphoric acid molecules condense linearly with elimination of water, H of one molecule with OH of the other adjacent molecule, and can give a linear polyacids. The general formula is this. OH, double bond O, single bond OH, OH. Now you see, it's very simple. This is the pyro, the diphosphoric acid. Similarly, if you condense 3 phosphoric acid molecules, you will be getting this. There will be 2 oxygen bridges. If you condense 4 phosphoric acid molecules, then there will be 3 oxygen bridges. You can do yourself. Now see, I have written here 2 phosphoric acid minus 1 water. This is already known pyro. 3 phosphoric acid, 2 water. Then automatically you can generate the formula. You need not have to remember that this is triphosphoric acid. Poly word you may not write. Triphosphoric acid means it is poly, but some people write tripolyphosphoric acid. So you need not have to remember the formula. 3 phosphoric acid molecules will eliminate maximum two molecules if they join linearly. Then the ultimate remnant, the residual formula will be this C. 3 3s are 9, 2 2s are 4. So remaining hydrogen is 5. 3 phosphorus. Then 4 3s are 12, minus 2, 10. Similarly, 4 phosphoric acid minus 3 water. That will give you H6P4O13. That is tetraphosphoric acid or tetrapolyphosphoric acid. So you need not have to remember the formula. This is tetrapolyphosphoric acid or simply tetraphosphoric acid. But yes, I have shown you how tripolyphosphoric acid can be formed by the condensation between 3 phosphoric acid molecules. HOH, HOH, so you get this minus 2 water. Now cyclic polyphosphoric acid. We can, cyclic polyphosphoric acid this is formally called meta, but this is actually poly. Meta word is redundant now, but still you have to remember the term meta is used for cyclic polyphosphoric acids. The oxidation state remains the same, whether it is linear polyphosphoric acid or cyclic polyphosphoric acid, the meta term is still in use. Phosphoric acid molecules undergo condensation in a cyclic manner to form cyclic phosphoric acid, cyclic polyphosphoric acid. Polyphosphoric acids named as cyclopolymeta. This meta word is still in use. IUPAC is not very particular about it. It is dropping sometimes. Cyclic polyphosphoric acid, but still we use the term meta. Hence metaphosphoric acids are always polymeric. 3 or more molecules join in a cyclic manner to form a ring. In the linear polymerization, 3 molecules were eliminating 2 water molecules, but in a cyclic polymerization 3 molecules will eliminate 3 water molecules. So see, 3 molecules will leave or eliminate 3 water molecules, and the residual formula will be H3P3O9. You need not have to remember. You have to just see whether it is cyclic or it is a linear. If 3 minus 2, then linear. 3 minus 3, 6 minus 6, it will be cyclic. This is cyclotrimetaphosphoric acid. You can just drop meta, no harm. This is cyclohexametaphosphoric acid. Now I have shown you how 3 phosphoric acid, orthophosphoric acid molecules, they condense. I told you meta and ortho, they differ only in the water content. Ortho contains more water, meta contains less water. So 3 molecules, they remove 3 molecules of water to give you this cyclic metaphosphate or cyclotrimetaphosphoric acid. Or simply it is called metaphosphoric acid. Very commonly it is called metaphosphoric acid. It is a 6-membered ring with a POP linkage. You can yourself try after watching this video, or you can pause the video and try and figure out what will be the formula and structures. Cyclotrimetaphosphoric acid is commonly called metaphosphoric acid, right? Cyclopolymetaphosphate salts have the general formula PO3N subscript N superscript N minus, because the general formula is HPO3 whole N, where N is minimum 3. Without 3 molecule cyclization is not possible. 6-membered ring is a stable molecule. So it can be 4, 5, 6. And if it is 6, HPO3 whole 6, because see, this is the HPO3 unit. This is the HPO3 unit, HPO3 unit, HPO3 unit. So there are 3 HPO3 unit. If so, you remove the ionizable H plus ion, then the metaphosphates will be only PO3 single minus. And if there are N, so N minus. Now see, this is a cyclohexametaphosphate. Hexametaphosphate, as an acid it is unstable, but as its salt it is stable. Sodium hexametaphosphate, it is cyclo, it has to be cyclo, because the formula will be different. If it is a linear one, the formula will be different. From 6 phosphoric acid molecules, 5 water molecules will be deducted, will be removed. But for cyclic structure, 6 phosphoric acid will remove 6 water molecules, so that the resulting H6P6O18 and all the ionizable hydrogen atoms have gone as hydrogen ions, and Na plus ions have replaced. You see how gigantic the ring structure is. It's a 12-membered ring. It is a 12-membered ring. This is sodium hexametaphosphate. Of course, it is cyclo. So, we must distinguish between, polyphosphates, where it will be always linear. If cyclopolyphosphate or cyclopolymetaphosphate, then it will be cyclic, having a different formula. Now, in linear polyphosphate, the general formula is this. But there is no H and OH at the end. But if it is a cyclopolyphosphoric acid, then there will be no dash dash. It is HPO3 whole N. That's it. HPO3 whole N, no dash dash. So look to the difference. HPO3 whole N. Then, yes, I have told you IUPAC has stopped the use of prefix meta for cyclophosphoric acids, but still we have to use. Then hypophosphorus acid. Hypo means less. And hypophosphoric acid. I'm so sorry. Ic means +5. It is less than +5 means +4. Cannot be +3. +3 is already us. So +5 is ic, and hypo means it is less than +5. So the only state left is +4. So I told you in such a case there has to be a element-element linkage. Otherwise the oxidation state cannot be reduced. It looks like, each part looks like phosphoric acid, but the other OH is lost, as if both the OH groups have been eliminated, as say for example hydrogen peroxide. This is a fictitious way of telling. It doesn't happen like that. It is prepared in a different way. We are not studying the detailed chemistry of all these acids. We are talking about how to generate the formula and what is its oxidation state and hybridization and all that. Now, here, unless you remove both the OH groups, not water, as H2O2, then only there will be a decrease in oxidation state. So when there are more than one central atom, then definitely there will be a element to element linkage if it is hypoic acid. Hypophosphoric acid is this. Had it been O inside, then it would have been pyrophosphoric acid or diphosphoric acid, and it would have been +5. It is simply pyro, or now it is called di. But here, this is +4, the oxidation state. I forgot to write once again, this. How are you feeling? Is it going well? +4 and +4. This is the identical bond. So this cleavage is homolytic, no charge gain or loss. But here it will lose, this phosphorus will lose 2 electrons, 2 oxygen, 1 to this oxygen, 1 to this oxygen. So altogether it will lose 4 electrons and will acquire a hypothetical charge of +4. That is the oxidation state, right? And since the steric number is 4 in all these cases, these are all sp3 hybridized. Now, so there is no point in remembering the formula of hypophosphoric acid as H4P2O6, H4P2O6. It's not like that. you have to remember in an unintelligent manner. Sometimes might be you are doing in your school, I mean lower level, remembering things in a very mechanical way by repeatedly telling the same word. You don't do that. So 2 phosphoric acid will remove both the OH atoms, OH groups, as if it is H2O2 to give you this. That is the trick. So that the oxidation state will be reduced from +5 to +4. Then peroxy. When I say peroxy, it is something different. There must be a O single bond O linkage. So this is phosphoric acid. Had there been no O, then just put another O at the terminal with the already existing O and make it a peroxy linkage, and that becomes H3PO5. But here the oxidation state of phosphorus won't change. This is still +5. But by X method, if you find as a junior student, if you apply the X method, +3 plus X minus 10, supposing you consider all the 5 oxygen as -2 type of oxygen, then -10 is equal to 0, X is equal to +7. This is minus. So which is wrong? What happened? It all vanished. All vanished. So which is wrong? It is because these 2 oxygens are -1, -1. Peroxy type of oxygen. And this, you can just look to the structure. Phosphorus will lose 2 electrons on this side, double bond side, and 1 each on the single bond side, and also 1 each to the bridging side. So 1, 2, 3 plus 1, 4 plus 5. So it will be +5. Right? So then let us talk about oxoacids of sulfur, which belongs to group 16, oxygen family. You have Os acid, sulfurous acid, you know. Os is +4, ic is +6 in oxygen family. So sulfurous is H2SO3. There is a lone pair and sp3. Therefore, the steric number is 4, sp3. But the sulfite ion is pyramidal because lone pair doesn't contribute to the shape. You know that. Sulfuric acid is +6 ic. So it is H2SO4, again sp3, sulfate ion is tetrahedral. Pyro means it is a dimer. It is a dehydrated dimer. You take 2 sulfuric acid and remove water. It will become H2H2O7. Need not have to remember. Pyro means you have to take 2 ic acids and remove 1 molecule of water. Right? This is H2H2O7, and the oxidation state remains the same, +6 +6. No change. So let me tell you, for sulfur and all sulfur containing acids and any sulfur related terms, you can write F for pH. pH, sulfur pH is British. Whether it is acid or anything, it is British English. And F is American English. So don't be surprised if you find in some case F, in some books pH. It is all the same. These are following British pattern and F is American pattern, right? Let us talk about polysulfuric acid. Just like polyphosphoric acid, you have polysulfuric acid. If 3 sulfuric acid molecules lose to water in between, then it will grow in a linear manner and you just generate the formula and you find H2H3O10 trisulfuric acid. Or similarly tetrasulfuric acid, which is not very common, but trisulfuric acid has been prepared. Then peroxy monosulfuric acid. Once it is peroxy, means there is a peroxy linkage. X method of determining oxidation state will fail you. You have to go, if you know that there are these 2 are -1 peroxy type of oxygen, then it's okay. Otherwise, from the structure, you can say the oxidation state is same as the corresponding ic acid, +6. Peroxy disulfuric acid. Since there are 2 sulfur atoms, the peroxy linkage is bound to remain at the middle. the bridging peroxy linkage. So if by X method, that will deceive you. You'll get, in case of this, you get +7, in this case you get +8, which are impossible. Or sulfur cannot ever acquire the oxidation state more than +6 because its valence electron is 6. So because these two are different types of oxygen, -1 type, peroxide type, right? Now coming to thiosulfuric acid, it's very, very interesting. There is a sulfur-sulfur linkage, a double bond. And therefore, if you find, it is very, very similar to sulfuric acid, H2SO4, but in place of one double bond oxygen, you have one double bond sulfur. That is the only exchange. Otherwise, if you put O here, it will be sulfuric acid. But this becomes thiosulfuric acid if one O out of the two double bond O, one is S. So if you find the oxidation state or oxidation number individually, looking to the structure, this central is +4. Because these two atoms are identical, there will be homolytic cleavage, though hypothetically. So this sulfur will be 0 and this will be +4. And by X method we get +2, which is the average of these two. So average is +2, but actually oxidation state of sulfur is +4 as well as 0. Right? And in thiosulfuric acid, there is always a sulfur-sulfur linkage. Similarly, you have a thiosulfurous acid. In this case, the average is +1. Os means, this is similar to, the structure is similar to sulfurous acid, where sulfur, this the internal sulfur is +3. But in thiosulfuric acid, the internal sulfur is also not +6. It's not ic. Although it is called ic, it is similar to sulfuric acid in structure, but it should have been called, a hypo sulfuric acid. Therefore, neither it is called sulfurous acid or hyposulfuric acid, it is called thiosulfuric acid. But remember, its oxidation state is not +6 like ic acid. Therefore, IUPAC has changed its name. It has changed to sulfurothioic acid O. O acid means the hydrogen, ionizable hydrogen is bonded to oxygen, not sulfur. Sulfur is free. It's not containing the ionizable hydrogen. So IUPAC has changed the name, but students don't remember this. Sulfurothioic O acid, right? Similarly, thiosulfurous acid also contains a sulfur-sulfur linkage, but a single bond. And one ionizable hydrogen is on oxygen, the other ionizable hydrogen is on sulfur. Therefore, the new name is sulfurothious. This is thioic, this is thious, O, S acid. Also, it is simply S acid, the other one is undoubtedly O, because there is only one sulfur outside. But still, it is better to call O, S acid. One hydrogen is bonded to O, the other bonded to S. Here, this is in the +3 state and this is in the -1 state, and the average is +1. Here, the average is +2, thiosulfuric acid, and this average is +1. This should be called hyposulfurous acid because the average is less, but it is not named like that. It is called thiosulfurous acid, and the new name is sulfurothious, thioic, thious, OS acid, right? Then let us talk about a very important series called polythionic acid. Remember, polythionic. Let me underline this, and if possible, I will make a different color. polythionic acid series, and its general formula is H2S X plus 2. 2 is must. X can be 0, but 2 is a must. Minimum 2 sulfur atoms have to be there, and O6. So these two are fixed. H2 is fixed, O6 is fixed. The only change is X, right? Oxidation state plus 5 and 0. I'll tell you. 2 sulfur atoms are in hypo to eke state. It is less than plus 6. So it can be called hypo to eke state, and others are in 0 state. So it's not called hypo or anything. It is called polythionic acid, dithionic acid, trithionic acid, tetrathionic acid. With X plus 2, less than 20 have been already synthesized. This X plus 2, the total number of sulfur atoms is X plus 2. Up to 20 have been synthesized by scientists. And they are planning to synthesize up to 60. They say, yes, it is possible. And what happens in such acid? There is sulfur-sulfur linkage. There is a repeated sulfur-sulfur linkages. This is what we call the catenation of sulfur will be found here. It can go up to 20 if it is 2, minus 2 means it is 18. So if you can catenate 20 sulfur atoms, then they are planning for 60. So it seems how, of course, it can't beat carbon in catenation. We call it a king of catenation, that is carbon, but still it is second highest in catenation than, relative to, compared to carbon. So in this polythionic acid series, these are SS linkages, S single bond S continuously. X can be 0, that means this will not be there. There is direct connection between these two sulfur atoms. So the formula will be S2S2O6. This X will be 0. This is called dithionic acid. And here you can find out from the structure the oxidation state will be plus 5 each, because these two are identical, homolytic cleavage, right? Dithionic acid. Then trithionic acid, 1 sulfur is added here, but these two part remains the same. This two part remains the same, H2O6. And the other sulfur comes in between, bridging sulfur. This is 0 because this is homolytic, so the oxidation state of the central sulfur, the bridging sulfur is 0. And this 2 plus 5. Similarly, you have tetrathionic acid, there are 2 bridging sulfur atoms. So both enjoy 0 state, and this is once again plus 5. I'm so sorry. By mistake. It's very interesting that I discover my own mistake here while I deliver this lecture in video. There's 2 plus 2, 4 plus 1, 5. Here nothing. So plus 5. But if you find average, it will be, it will be coming 10 by 4. That is plus 2.5. Because plus 5, 10 shared by 4 atoms. So 10 by 4. By X method also you will find same thing, plus 10 by 4 or plus 2.5. But there is nothing called plus 2.5. No sulfur will have an oxidation state of plus 2.5. That's just an average. Dithionic acid, out of all the tetrathionic acids, dithionic acid behaves in a different way. So the chemistry we are not going to discuss. Remember, thionic acid series has this general formula, H2O6 is fixed and the sulfur continues to repeat catenated in the middle if it is polythionic acid. If it is di, no bridging. If it is tri, 1. Tetra, 2 more, and so on. No need to, mug up in a foolish manner. Dithionous acid also is not stable, but you can have dithionous acid, where it is instead of plus 5, it is plus 3. But there is a sulfur-sulfur linkage like this, dithionous acid. Instead of +5, it is +3. But there is a sulfur-sulfur linkage. All the thionic acid series, you have a sulfur-sulfur linkage. Remember, you get a question in which of the acids there is a sulfur-sulfur linkage or phosphorus-phosphorus linkage. You can visualize. Once you draw the structure according to logic, then you can know whether PP or SS linkages are there or not. Similarly, this is a very, very typical acid. This is called disulfurous acid because this typical acid has two parts. Sulfurous acid part, sulfurous acid like structure, and sulfuric acid like structure. Here one OH is missing and here one OH is missing. So when there is a sulfur-sulfur linkage, you will find this sulfur will have a +5 state, this sulfur will be having +3 state, and the average will be +4, and we never call it hypo or pyro. We simply call it, not we, IUPAC says it disulfurous acid, or sometimes the other name will be pyrosulfurous acid. Sulfurous is +4, sulfurous is +4, but why the pyro is misnomer, no doubt. Why? Because +4, the average is +4. So how it can be called pyro? It is more than +3. But austate is +4. Pyro means more. Pyro means it is a dehydrated dimer. So there is no sulfur oxygen bridge here. SOS is not there. So the pyro term is totally redundant, but still people call it pyrosulfurous acid. And also some people call it metasulfurous acid. These are all illogical, names. This is disulfurous acid, where you have to remember this, that this part is like sulfurous acid, +3, and this is like sulfuric acid. So this becomes S2S2O5. There is a SS linkage. Then quickly let us take up the oxo acids of nitrogen. This is nitrous acid, +3. Us means +3 for group 15. Right? This is a sp2 hybridized, and it's a V-shaped structure at this point, at this part. This take number is 3, and this is hyponitrous acid. For that has to be NN linkage. Otherwise, the oxidation state cannot be less than the Us. It has to be less than +3, and it is really +1 just by having a nitrogen-nitrogen linkage, a double bond linkage. This is +1 and this is +1. Both are identical type. This is called hypo. Why hypo? Because it is less than +3. +1. This is peroxy, and it is often written as per-nitrous acid. That adds to the confusion of students, per-nitrous acid. Now, so this is a deceptive term here. Deceptive term here, because per means it's not like it is more than +3. Per means it is peroxy here in this case. So remember, many cases per signifies peroxy. There is a peroxy linkage here. Just I am showing you, here is the peroxy linkage, OO. But still nitrogen is in the +3 state as nitrous acid. Nitric acid is this, there is a dative bond. There is a coordinate covalent bond, often shown by an arrow mark, but that is now shown by a formal plus charge on the donor and minus charge on the acceptor, and I have not shown you the lone pairs on the peripheral atoms. I have shown the lone pairs on central atom only. Similarly, peroxynitric acid, simply extension. Instead of OH, it will be OOH. Here is the peroxy group. Oxidation state same, +5. Then oxo acids of halogens. Halogens are cool, very, very cool type. Hypohalous acid, it is less than Us. I told you that for halogen, Us has been taken as +3 and Ik has been taken as +5. So anything less than +3, it is hypohalous. Anything more than +5, it is halic. So this is hypohalous acid, HOX. HXO2, this is halous acid, os acid simply, no prefix. And HSO3 plus 5, this is halic acid, no prefix. And HSO4 per halic acid, it is plus 7. Fluorine has only one acid, that is hypofluorous acid, which is again unstable. But others, they have all the possible oxidation states. Because fluorine, doesn't have a vacant d orbital. It cannot expand its valence state. Therefore, it is content with only one state, that is -1, not even +1. So here the oxidation state will be, fluorine cannot be +1, like in other cases it is +1. Here, if you find out, you draw the structure and try to apply the logic of oxidation state, this oxygen will lose, so that this will be -1, and this will gain, because oxygen is more electronegative, so it will lose one electron, gain one electron, so it will have no charge. And this is +1 charge. So in this case, oxygen is having 0 charge and fluorine is -1 charge. Right? But in all other, supposing it is HOCl, then this will lose, because chlorine is less electronegative. Hydrogen will also lose. So oxygen will be -2, chlorine is +1, hydrogen is +1. Right? Same is the case with hypobromous acid and hypoiodous acid, like hypochlorous. But hypofluorous acid, which is unstable, really, is very difficult to prepare and stabilize. But even then, oxygen has a 0 state. Now, let me tell you, this is HOCl, this is HClO2, where the oxidation state is +3, os acid, chlorus, and this is chloric +5. You can draw the Lewis structure and also hybridization. There is no problem. And this is perchloric acid, like periodic acid or bromic acid. So this is +7. Right? Periodic acid, in fact, you can have perbromic acid, perchloric acid. Similarly, bromic acid, chloric acid, HBrO3, HClO3, HiO3. Similarly, chlorous acid, bromous acid, iodous acid, hypobromous acid, hypoiodous acid, and so on. Remember, periodic acid has 2 types. One is pure periodic acid, more water content. But the periodic acid, which we often say, it is metaperiodic acid. Perhaps you do not know, periodic acid generally is HiO4, the formula I have written here, and that is in fact meta. But since iodine is a bigger size atom, it can have ortho also. So there are 5 OH groups attached. And if you remove 2 water, you get the so-called periodic acid, which is really metaperiodic acid, and this is ortho. Per is there, but meta and ortho, these are nothing to do with the oxidation state. Oxidation state remains the same, but ortho has more water content and meta has less water content. Similarly, just for sake of comparison, we have telluric acid of 2 types, ortho and meta. But since oxidation state remains the same, +6. This is a deviation from our agenda. This is group 16. Of course, group 16 we are doing sulfur. This is tellurium. Tellurium, the stable ic acid, telluric acid, is actually ortho. The stable is ortho, which has more water content, TOH6 or H6TO6. But the usual sulfuric acid type of structure is unknown. H2TeO4, we can call it metatelluric acid if it is prepared, not known yet. It is a metatelluric acid, and the telluric acid that we prepare is orthotelluric acid, having more water content, which is not the case with selenic acid and sulfuric acid because they are smaller size. A tellurium is bigger size. Similarly, orthoboric acid and metaboric acid. We are not talking about pyro, hypo and all that, gone. Only trying to summarize ortho and meta, which have been redundant now. Ortho, more water content, meta, less water content, and often meta remains in a polymeric form, in a cyclic form. Supposing boric acid, the usual boric acid that we say is orthoboric acid, H3BO3. It remains as a monomer. But the monomeric units are interconnected by innumerable hydrogen bonding network, 2D network. That's okay. But individual entities are monomeric. But metaboric acid, HBO2 whole N, it is a polymer. The minimum is the metaboric acid that we say is HBO2 whole 3. It is a cyclic 6-membered ring. And the unit is HBO2. HBO2 this part and 3 times. But this is H3BO3 orthoboric acid. And although this is monomer, it remains monomeric, not polymeric like metaboric acid. But these monomers are hydrogen bonded to form a network. So this is one orthoboric acid. This is the other, and there are hundreds and thousands of such orthoboric acid remain in one plane and form a hydrogen bonding network structure. Similarly, ortho and metasilicic acid. Orthosilicic acid is H4SiO4 or SiOH whole 4. We can call this as SiOH whole 4. This is monomeric and stable, but metasilicic acid is polymeric. It is unknown, as acid it is unknown, but its salts are very stable and they are the heroes in the earth crust. There are so many types of silicates and out of them metasilicates are the one. They have the repeat unit SiO3 2-, and this is SiO linkage is there, and each silicon is bonded with O-, and the counter ions are Na+, but we simply write Na2SiO3. Its empirical formula we write Na2SiO3, but actually Na2 and SiO3 2N-, SiO3 2- whole N, Na 2N, and SiO3 2- whole N. So that instead of writing a huge structure, we write sodium silicate, metasilicate is like this. Sometimes we call it sodium silicate. And we sometimes misuse terms, which actually it is metasilicate. It is the empirical formula. The orthosilicate is this SiO4 4-, right? So this is orthosilicate and its salt is SiO4 4-. All these are ionizable, right? Similarly, you will be surprised and you will be learning in your chemistry of noble gases that xenon also has a acid with the oxidation state of +8. Can you imagine? All the 8 electrons are used in bonding, covalent bonding. Pergenic acid here, don't be surprised while I say per. Per is neither greater than +8 or nobody has maybe a +6 state is taken to be the ic acid and +4 state as the as acid in xenon or similar noble gases excepting helium. Then it is more than +6, it is +8, just like yes, I think this is the logic, just like per iodic acid, per chloric acid, this is pergenic acid. It's not peroxic, there is no peroxy linkage here. Per means it is more than +6, usual ic is +6 in xenon. And so pergenic acid H4SxCO6, there are 4 OH groups and 2 doubly bonded oxygen atoms. And the acid is unknown, but its salts are very stable, barium pergenate, sodium pergenate. So this is, and the oxidation state is +8. How did you like? We have finished. The entire program is finished now. This is the beginning of our short topic. Short, maybe 1 hour has gone. Yes, in inorganic topics. Instead of making the topics little more expanded, we will confine our discussion on short topics, which will have more logical implications. Like it? Thumbs up. Have you subscribed? Do it. Bye bye. See you in the next episode.